What's good, good people? Soul Brother number one coming back at you from the top of the chocolate Milky Way, here to reclaim the pyramids. And today we got a banger for you. Uncle Todd done made Christmas come early once again. This time we're going to be reviewing DC Multiverse's Milestone Media's Icon. Icon, before we get into it, just a little few facts about Icon. Icon was created by the late, great Dwayne McDuffie for Milestone Media in 1993. This is what his first appearance looks like. That's the first comic he was in. The first book was entitled Icon. Later on down the line, after that ran for about like 3 or 4 years, I believe. And then the Icon, the Milestone Media characters, which consisted of Icon, Hardware, Static, which became the most popular one out of the bunch. They got folded into the DC universe, and this right here is a cover of the Justice League issue where they brought them in to the DC universe. And then after that, you ain't see too much of them. You know, Static still had his cartoon appearances and everything. And then in about 2021, DC released it, brought him back out. And the name of the book was called Icon and Rocket Season 1. That's what it looks like right here. But every time Icon has seen print, it was always a good read to me. But now Milestone, when Milestone first launched, it launched with 4 or 5? Let me see. It had Icon and Rocket, Hardware, Static, and the Blood Syndicate. Those were the first 4 books that it released with. And like I said before, Static became the most popular one out of that bunch. You know, he had his cartoon, and then every now and then, I think he showed up on Batman Beyond. But definitely Static became the most popular one out of that. But during that Icon and Rocket Season 1, that series that came out in 2021, they did a slight retcon of his history, which was much needed in my opinion. Not going to tell you what it was, but if you read the original Icon and then read Icon and Rocket 2021, it was a slight retcon that was needed, real needed, about his history. Go check that out. And if you know what it was, drop it in the comments for me. But now we're going to get into the figure. Now that you got that little history down about Icon. See the packaging here. Standard DC Multiverse packaging. The big display window in the front. DC Multiverse down here. Name of the character, Icon. Name of the character here. And the series that this version was taken from, Icon and Rocket Season 1. Got some beautiful artwork. I think this is from that series. Icon and Rocket Season 1. But standard DC Multiverse packaging. Oh, in this version, this isn't his original costume. This is the Icon and Rocket Season 1 costume. Hopefully, Uncle Todd will give us that original costume along with Hardware and Static, and also Rocket, and a few members of the Blood Syndicate. That might be going a little bit too far, but hopefully we get those 3 or 4 characters. But we're going to get Icon out of his plastic prison and see what he's working with. All right. Now that we have Arnis, a.k.a. Augustus Freeman, a.k.a. Icon, out of his box, we're going to check out the accessories, as we always do. And like all Uncle Todd's figures, it comes with the trading card with the same art that's on the back. And there's a little write-up on Augustus Freeman there. You can pause and read that if you like. Comes with the standard, just black, DC on it. And he also comes with 2 extra hands. These are open hands, left and right. I guess for flying poses, whatever. You know, just open hands. Now getting into the figure, This, I'm tell you right now, this now, as I said before, Uncle Todd's figures a lot. They were hit and miss at first when he first came out. As a matter of fact, a whole bunch of them were missed. But later on down the line, somewhere he course corrected, and to me, in my opinion, for the most part of the figures that he comes out now, they top notch figures. A1, you know, A number one, the Duke. You know where that came from? The Duke, A number one. Anyway, especially with figures that I like, characters that I like, and I choose to get, most of the time those figures are spot on. And Arnis here is no exception. This may, being of that who he is, that and how good the figure looks, this may be my favorite figure, already in the running for favorite figure of 2025. This is a nice figure. But first we're going to start off, soft good cape with the wire in it so you can pose the cape. Soft good capes are always a plus. Look at that head sculpt. Head sculpt is nice. All right, let's get to this articulation. Head can go up, but just about that far. You can look down that much. You do get 360 on the head rotation. Get the T-pose. Arm does do 360. He has the butterfly joint in there too. Where you can see it goes back that far. And let's see about going in. Yeah, a lot of the same problems when the butterfly joint on a lot of these McFarlane figures, it doesn't allow them to go in that much, like say on a Valiverse figure, where the butterfly joint actually allows you to, you know, put one hand over the other. These McFarlane joints, they just go that far. You got the bicep swivel, bicep cut there. The double jointed pinned elbows, but like I say, pin don't bother me so long as they match what they're supposed to be matching there, which they do. You have a the way McFarlane hands are, there's a ball peg there. The hand goes 360, and that ball peg can go down like that, up like that. He has that diaphragm cut. Mouth of motion at the diaphragm. He does have the waist swivel. And another thing, in this one, the one thing I didn't like about McFarlane's figures was that middle piece called a diaper, but it's not as bad on this one. They trimmed it down. They didn't make it look as noticeable. Some of them, that diaper just looked bad, but this, that looks okay. You can get the Van Damme. Hit that Van Damme there. That is about 90 degrees. No thigh cut on this particular McFarlane figure. He does have the double jointed knees with the pins, but they're the same color as the black, so that's cool. You get toe articulation. Not really a fan of toe articulation. Maybe in characters like Spider-Man or something, Daredevil, but toe articulation I can leave that. You get the ankle rocker and the pivot. But all in all, this is a nice looking figure. You got the detail perfectly mimicking how he looks in his second iteration in that Icon and Rocket Season 1 comic. You got the reds, the greens here, the gold painted on his bicep, the black glove with the gold trim on the forearm, also on the thighs. This figure is hot five, man. This is a nice figure. I recommend you go out and get you one, because like they said when Milestone comics were first coming out, the revolution will be televised. But now we're going to get him posed up so you can get a 360 look at him and conclude the video. All right, We got Icon on the 360 base, so you can get a plus. I just like to use my base, get that 360 look going on. Hopefully Uncle Todd will give us hardware, rocket, and static in the line, and his first suit that he came in. Hopefully we can get those, but if not, I'm just glad we got a Icon. And if you haven't read any of Milestone Media's books, I recommend you go get some. That's pretty good reading. The first series, they should be easy to get. They wouldn't be that much. The first one and the Icon and Rocket 2021 series. Real good reading. Real good characters. Hope we see more. And that concludes my video of Icon. Remember, keep a glide in your stride, a dip in your hip, and let's all wait on the mothership. And remember, the revolution was televised.